Imagine this. Tomorrow morning you wake up and something strange happens. Your phone speaks English. Your TV speaks English. People on the street speak English. Even the coffee shop near your house speaks English. You understand some words. You know hello. You know thank you. You know good morning. But when it's your turn to speak, your mind becomes completely empty. You know the words. You studied them. You even memorized them. So, why can't you use them? Because your brain is still doing one extra job. Every sentence starts in your native language and only then travels to English. That journey takes time. Today, I want to show you something amazing. How to make English become your first thought instead of translation. And trust me, it's much easier than you think.
Yes, I can!
When people say, I want to think in English, they usually imagine something magical. They believe one morning they will wake up and suddenly every thought inside their head will be English. But that's not how it happens. Thinking in English is not a switch. It's a habit. Every habit starts small. Think about driving. The first time you drove a car, you had to think about everything. The mirror, the steering wheel, the pedals, the speed. Every moment needed your attention. But today, if you know how to drive, you don't think about those things anymore. Your body simply does them. English works exactly the same way. At first, your brain works very hard. It hears a sentence. It translates. It checks grammar. It searches for vocabulary. Then, finally, it speaks. That process is exhausting. But the good news is your brain can learn a faster way. Let's imagine something very simple. You're thirsty. Most learners think like this. I'm thirsty. Then they translate. I am thirsty. That takes 2 steps. Instead, the next time you are thirsty, don't allow yourself to think in your own language. Just look at your glass of water and quietly say, I'm thirsty. That's all. No translation. Only English. It feels strange the first time. Maybe even uncomfortable. That's normal. Your brain is learning a new road. Every new road feels difficult at first. Now, imagine you're walking outside. You see a blue car. Most people simply look at it, but you can turn that moment into English practice. Say, blue car. Then, the car is blue. A few minutes later, you see a dog. Say, small dog. The dog is running. You don't need long sentences. In fact, short sentences are much better because short sentences become automatic faster. One day, I asked a student, how often do you think in English? He smiled and answered, only when I'm studying. That answer explained everything. English was only a school subject. It wasn't part of his life. If English only exists inside your notebook, your brain believes English belongs inside your notebook, not in real life. So bring English into ordinary moments. When you open the window, say, it is sunny. When you are tired, say, I'm tired. When you are hungry, say, I'm hungry. Tiny sentences, real situations, again and again. Many learners believe they need thousands of words before they can think in English. That's not true. Children don't know thousands of words, but they still think. Why? Because they use the words they already know. You should do exactly the same. Don't wait until your vocabulary becomes perfect. Use today's vocabulary today. Even if you only know 100 words. 100 words can create hundreds of simple sentences. That's more than enough to start thinking. Here's another exercise I love. Imagine you're talking to yourself, not aloud, just inside your head. You're making breakfast. Describe what you're doing. I'm making coffee. I'm cutting bread. I'm opening the fridge. I'm eating breakfast. Simple, slow, and natural. Nobody is judging you. Nobody is listening. But your brain is practicing. Sometimes you will forget a word. That's okay. Don't immediately open Google Translate. Instead, find another way. Maybe you don't know the word umbrella. Don't stop. Say the thing for rain. Maybe you don't know pillow. Say the thing I sleep on. This is exactly what fluent speakers do. Even native speakers forget words sometimes. They simply explain them differently. Communication is more important than perfect vocabulary. There is another mistake that almost everyone makes. People try to think about difficult topics too early. Science, business, philosophy. Don't do that. Think about today's weather, your breakfast, your family, your plans, your room, your dog, your favorite movie, your next vacation. Your brain learns better when the topic is familiar. Later, those simple thoughts become bigger conversations. One day, something wonderful happens. Someone asks, "How are you?" And before your brain translates, you answer, "I'm doing great." It feels automatic, fast, natural. That moment is exciting because you finally realize you didn't translate. You simply responded. That's how fluency grows. Not in one giant moment, but in hundreds of tiny moments. So, how do you really start thinking in English? Not by forcing yourself to become perfect. Not by memorizing 10,000 words. Not by reading another grammar book. You start by changing tiny moments during your day. One sentence while drinking coffee. One sentence while walking. One sentence before sleeping. One sentence after waking up. Tiny habits repeated every day. Those tiny habits slowly change the way your brain works. Here is today's challenge. For the next 7 days, don't try to think in English all day. That's impossible. Instead, choose just 5 moments. When you wake up, when you eat, when you walk, when you drink water, and before you go to sleep. Only those 5 moments. Describe them in English. That's all. You will be surprised how quickly your brain starts expecting English during those moments. And remember something important. People don't become fluent because they are smarter. They become fluent because English becomes part of their everyday life. That's the secret. Not studying harder. Living with English. Little by little, every single day.
Hello.
Where is context?
Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. If you enjoyed this Slow English podcast, please like this video, subscribe to Easy English Real World, and tell me in the comments what does the first sentence you thought in English today. I will see you in the next episode. Until then, keep listening, keep speaking, and little by little, start thinking in English.